guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Today we're at Generation Championship Wrestling. We run this show, and I'm joined by none other than T-Gainz. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Now, you just had a match. You're part of the Young Professors Best in Class show, and you just wrestled Leila Grey. I heard you came out a little... You didn't get that victory today.
Yeah, I gotta give it to her. She is a firecracker. I gotta say that. She is very phenomenal. You know what? If I'm gonna take a loss, then I'm humbled that it was to her, actually.
That was her? Okay. Now, on your class picture, it says that you're most likely to crush a watermelon.
Yes.
With your quads?
Yes, and there is a video circulating online if you have not seen it. You can go and visit the Young Professor, and you can find it on Facebook, Instagram, all social media of me crushing a watermelon with my quads.
Okay, because when I saw that you were here and I saw that picture, I tried to find it, but I could not find it. So there is an actual video of you crushing a watermelon.
Yes, there is.
How did you come up with that idea to crush a watermelon with your quads?
Well, as we were going through our superlatives, people were all like most likely to be, famous or most likely to be the president and that. But with me, I gotta say that I'm not really in the smarts. With the book smarts, I've always been body athletic. And I started working out when I was in like 7th grade. I was like 12 years old, and the first thing that took was my quads, and it just swelled up. And I'm like, this is my thing. This is my thing. I'm known for my quads, and I'm going to show it off. And then it came from loose comments like, do you think you'd be able to do this? I was like, well, let's find out then. I did it, posted it, and there was a lot of people that said it couldn't be done. So that just fueled the fire even more. Like, okay, let's see what we can make happen here.
So it was essentially a challenge that got you to do it.
Yes.
So essentially nobody should tell T-Gainz that you can't do it.
No.
Because you showed that watermelon who's boss.
Yeah.
Now, what's a regular workout routine for you?
Me, of course, I'm really around my legs, and luckily legs is something I feel is just like abs. You can work it out every day. No matter if I'm working arms, back, whatever, I always throw something in for the legs. I know when I was training in state for girls weightlifting, every single day our coach made us do 5 sets of 10 squats every single day. Didn't matter what other day it was. And like I said, the first thing is like I wasn't noticing any growth anywhere else, and my quads just swelled up like balloons, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make something out of this. I'm going to own my body, how it responded, and see what I can do with it.
That's what I like, because do you go by the nickname Quadzilla? Did I see that?
Yes.
You do go by that nickname,
Yes.
Quadzilla.
I got that when I was still in high school.
In high school?
In high school. I ran with it.
So right away, it's been the quads the entire time. That's been your thing.
Yep.
Now, when you're working out, what type of music do you like to listen to?
I go from all different kind of genres. I have my 2000s hits. I have Akon, T-Pain, and then it's Chris Tomlin, all the gospel music, and then back to Skillet, heavy metal. It just goes back and forth.
So it's kind of like whatever mood you're in for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah? What type of heavy metal do you like to listen to? Any favorite bands?
Favorite bands, one of my favorites, which they won't be classified that much as heavy, but I do really like Skillet. They're a Christian band, and I like how they have that rock feel to it. When you hear it, you're like, are you sure it's Christian music? But it just has that rock vibe that gets you energized when working out.
Okay. I like learning something new, like bands I would never hear about.
Yeah.
That's always pretty cool. So something we can go check out and listen to, and maybe we find a new favorite artist.
Yeah.
And Skillet, right?
Skillet, yeah.
Skillet, okay. Now, you've just had that big match with Leila Grey, so obviously you've worked up an appetite.
Yes.
T-Gainz have a cheat meal that you're going to after this?
Well, honestly, I haven't eaten anything today.
Well,
Because on my way here, I know protein is good to fill up, and on the way here, I realized I left my card back at my house that I was at. So I pull up, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to go off on just sheer energy that's still in the tank. So now, a really big, stacked, juicy burger is what I'm feeling right now.
Okay, I like that. Now, for people that might be saying, oh my God, poor T-Gainz, she hasn't ate all day long. You wrestled at 10 a.m. here on a Friday, so it hasn't been like it's been like 5 o'clock in the afternoon either.
Yeah.
Was it a little rough to get up this early in the morning to come wrestle at 10 a.m.?
It was a little bit like that first waking up, you're like, oh, I wish I could stay in bed. But then right when my feet hit the floor, I was just ecstatic, like attack it, ready to go after it.
Okay. Now, one of the questions I like to ask people since we're at independent shows, and I think it's very important to get everybody's perspective, is there's a lot of wrestling on TV. but there's also a ton of independent wrestling. What are people missing out on if they're not coming to shows like Generation Championship Wrestling?
I feel like just this sheer excitement, even if you know nothing about wrestling, if you don't know what the moves are or who the people are, just from being in the room and the atmosphere, it like pushes you, it makes you go with it makes you get energized, whether you know something about it or not. And then that's what got me into it. My cousin brought me to a show, I knew nothing about it. It was my first time seeing wrestling in real life. And just seeing how pumped up everyone else got excited, it's like something you want to be a part of. And so you go with the crowd, you start cheering, and you just get invested into it. And that's what happened to me. It's almost like wrestling chose me, kind of feels, just you get so wrapped up into it. And I know, like, with COVID and everything, not really being able to go to things, but as we see now, things are opening back up. Things are getting more alive again. And so I strongly encourage you to go out to a show, find something local, because there really is stuff everywhere. People think that no one's doing anything, but it's not that hard if you go and search. There's places doing some great stuff.
Right, and since you said, things opening up, a lot of people might be like, oh, I don't know, is it safe to come out? But I can tell you, we're all required to get COVID tests before this show. So I got one, you've got one, everybody in the room has got one. So if people are like, oh, everybody's performing, we've all had our COVID tests this week too.
Right,
so
yes.
There are companies that are doing it safe, like Generation Championship Wrestling. I can't speak for everybody out there, but I know this company is definitely doing things the right way.
Yes.
Now, T-Gainz, when you're not wrestling, when you're not training, what are some of the things you like to do for fun when you have free time?
I actually love art. I love painting and creating things. Also, while I'm not wrestling, I do have another job. I have a CNA. I graduated my high school with my certified nursing assistant license. So when I'm not wrestling, throughout the work week, I'm a school nurse at an elementary school in my hometown.
Okay.
And so I work that throughout the week, and then on weekends I pick up shows and stuff. Of course, if it falls on a weekday, I'll take off, to go to that. But I also love the medical field and everything like that. So when I graduated high school, I got my CNA so that I can do them both right now.
Well, that's very commendable. Thank you for keeping everybody as safe as possible out there. We do appreciate all frontline workers, especially during crazy times like this.
Yeah.
Now, T-Gainz, where can people look you up at?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Everything is T_Gainz.
Kept it simple for everybody.
Kept it simple. They can find me quick.
Yeah.
T-Gainz.
Is there any last words you'd like to have here? What people should expect from you in the future?
I'm just saying that I want to tell everyone that, again, if you have never been to a wrestling show, if you're just starting to get into it, wrestling is something special. And when you open yourself up to it and let it come into you, you'll be really amazed. It's not just people just bouncing around in the ring. There's so much more into it. And I challenge you to go and get knowledge about it. And because what we do it for people. We do it for us. We love wrestling and we want to share it with the world. And it's just a whole nother atmosphere when you let wrestling come and wrap you up in your heart. That's what it did for me, and I'm happy to be here today and to be able to meet awesome people like Leila and have some matches, and it's all around, it's fun. It's all about having fun, having a good time.
That's great words to encouragement for people that, are out there and they're thinking about coming to a show. For me, I've loved wrestling since I was a kid. I had stopped watching during a little bit of a period of time, but it was actually going to an independent show, my local independent show, that brought me back. And since then, now I've watched TV and everything, but it was the independent show. I went there because an old wrestler favorite of mine, Scott Steiner, was there.
Yeah.
But I went to see Scott Steiner, but the independent wrestlers won me over, and since then I've been hooked. 2 years now, love independent wrestling.
Yeah, that's one thing I say is you're never too old for wrestling. Wrestling isn't just for little kids, it's for everybody.
It's for everybody, little kids and big kids like us. All right, T-Gainz, thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you so much.
And guys, if you like interviews like this with T-Gainz, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.